Alright, so today we have a couple goals that we want to go over or reach by the time we're done with class. Class will probably take almost your normal full class period, but as soon as I'm finished and I kind of get you started on your writing, I may step out for a few minutes and then come back in and see how you're doing. Everybody good with that? Yeah. Alright, so here's what we're going to do today. First, we need to review all the terms that are over here on this side of the board. Most of these you've already covered sometime either earlier this year or when you were elementary school, so one or the other. Second, we're going to practice identifying tone, word choice, and personification. Everybody remember those 3 words from this year so far? Yeah. Okay. Then you're going to write a friendly letter. Then we're going to make a book. And then you're going to show me what you know. So you can show me what you know in a variety of ways. Some of you are just going to turn your work in and I'll look at it. Some of you, if you're willing to, you can come up to class and share it. Some of you might let me read your work because some of you don't feel comfortable reading to everybody. Is that all right with all of you? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So basically what you're going to be able to do, or should be able to do by the time we leave class today. First, you can use figure of speeches and words to choose, word choice to choose tone or influence tone. So, for example, when you come into the classroom and you're being loud and crazy, what does Miss Carter do? She's like, come on, guys, sit down. What did her tone do?
Right.
It got loud, right? So when her tone got loud, how did your mood change?
It went down.
You went down, right? So tone impacts mood. So when you're writing, you're an author, right? So you can choose to use specific words. So I can say, she looks nice. Or I can say, she looks pretty. Or I can say, she looks beautiful. All of those change the way we think about what that person's appearance is, right? Because when we read, what do we make in our head usually when we're reading? Pictures, exactly. We should be drawing pictures in our head. If you say someone looks nice, we might just think that they're wearing decent clothes that day, right? If they look pretty, we're thinking, oh, she's probably really good looking, she's got beautiful hair. Or if she looks beautiful, we might automatically go into like Disney princess mode. That's what we picture in our head, right? So we change based on what words we use. Next, you can write creatively to entertain an audience. What does entertain mean?
Funny.
It can make them funny. If we're watching TV, it means that we don't want to keep watching it. What are we doing on TV if we're not entertained? Switching the channel, flipping it to something else, okay? And then the last thing you can do is present your work logically to the class. And we already talked about the different ways you guys can do that, okay? So let's start looking at the terms. Personification. Raise your hand if you remember what it means from earlier this school year. Yeah, giving human-like things to non-human things. So I'm boxing the word person and make non-living things
With living traits.
have human abilities, right?
Yeah.
Can someone give me an example? What you got?
The wind whispers in your ear.
Yeah,
the wind can't really whisper, but that's a human trait, so that's personification.
Perfect. Tone. So it is words used to impact a reader's, whoops, make that neater. A reader's what?
Mood.
Mood. Perfect. What is your word choice or your craft?
Like what different words you choose to create like a book or a letter.
Since you said a book or a work, I'm just going to put a writing, okay? So depending on who you are, you may choose to use specific type of words. Anybody familiar with that one guy, Cat in the Hat? Dr. Seuss, you guys know him?
Yeah.
Alright, so he had specific word choices. What did he do with almost all of his lines when he wrote?
Right.
He made them rhyme. He also had this really cool thing where if he couldn't come up with a word that was going to rhyme, he made up a word. How many of you read the story, The Sneetches? Yeah. The Sneetches had stars upon... Where? Where were they?
They were at the campfire.
Yes, but the stars, where were the stars on the Sneetches?
On their tummy.
On their tummy. But instead of saying they had stars, which ARS, right? Instead of saying they had stars upon their tummy, well, that doesn't rhyme. He did this cool thing and wrote stars upon stars. Is thars a word?
No, it's not.
No, but in your head you can automatically make that relate to what word do we know? Theirs. Someone said it. We replace it. This was what we would actually say as theirs. But since that wasn't going to rhyme, he created a word. So that was his craft, or that was his word choice. He made words or used a specific craft of rhyming to make his work stand out. So formal versus informal. What does formal mean? How many of you have ever went to a wedding? Okay, what did you have to do? Dress up nice, so that would be formal. So when you're dressed up nice, your parents expect you to behave in a certain way, right? They expect you to use certain words, right? Please, thank you, yes ma'am, yes sir, okay? So formal writing is what you do when you're writing. So formal means, for your case, fancy or professional. Now, when I talk to my boss, who's my boss?
Miss
Dollarhide. Miss Dollarhide, right? She's our boss, right? She's her boss, she's my boss. You guys all have bosses, they're generally your parents. You're supposed to speak really formal to them, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk to Miss Dollarhide, I always say, yes ma'am, or I ask her questions, talking to her by name. And I say, Miss Dollarhide, can you please help me? It's very formal, right? When I talk to you guys in the hallway, I say, hey, what's up? How are you guys doing today? Right? So there's a difference. So formal means fancy or professional. Hold on one second, but I'll get right to you. And then informal is kind of how we speak to our peers. You guys know what a peer is, right?
Somebody your
Friends,
own
people that are your age. What was your question, bud? When you're in your classroom, pretty much your teacher's generally your boss because she's trying to help guide you to do the right things. That's what all bosses do. They want to guide their employees to do the right thing. So connotation. Did you guys learn the words connotation and denotation this year? Yeah. All right. So denotation means the what? Dictionary definition, because you can remember denotation, dictionary, definition. Connotation is something different. Lily, what do you think?
I don't remember.
Need help? Phone a friend? What you got?
Behind a word.
The emotions. So it's the emotion linked to a word. So connotation specifically impacts these two things, right? Because we talked about the difference between nice and pretty and beautiful. That's the emotion behind the word. So connotation of words impact these two things, right? How many of you have written a note to your friends before? How many of you were asked at some point in elementary school to write a letter? Okay. Did any of you have a pen pal that you had to write to when you were in elementary school? Okay, a couple people did. So when you write a letter, there's always specific parts to it. So today when we read a book in a few minutes, all of the pages of the book, for the most part, are written as letters. So we're going to look at one of the pages real quick, not really read too much of it. We're going to talk about the letter. So this part of the friendly letter has 3 of the 4 parts I want you to remember. On the board over there, you can see I drew a tiny letter on the board, right? At the very top, there's a line that has an H on it. Can everyone see this?
Yeah.
The H stands for heading. That's generally where you put your date. Does that make sense? When you write a letter to someone, you tell them what date you're writing it. The G goes right here on the letter. It's this part of the letter. We call it the greeting. Hey, Duncan. So we know Duncan's going to be one of the people in our story. The big body part of it is exactly it. It's the body. Yep. And then the very end is this. In this case, is your overworked crayon friend, red crayon. And that's what we call our closing signature. And you can have different types of closing signatures. A lot of people used to write sincerely, right? Or your friend, or love always, depending on who you're writing to. So those are the parts of the friendly letter. Today, before you leave, you guys are going to be creating a friendly letter for me. That's going to be your creative writing. If you're not writing it to me, you'll understand that part in a few minutes. So is everybody good?
Yeah.
Feel like you remember all these words?
Yeah.
All right, so we're good on this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some practice with identifying personification, and we're going to do some practice on looking at specific word choice and the tone that's related to some of these. How many of you guys remember being read to in elementary school? It's like the greatest thing ever, right? In kindergarten, your teacher's like, everyone come to the front of the room to sit on the carpet, and the carpet had like all these little colored dots on it. You got to pick your spot, and then
You
the
don't
teacher
even
read to
have to
you.
read yourself.
Yeah. So
Part about it.
today I'm going to hook you guys up. We're going to do Throwback Thursday for Read Aloud. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you just like you're in elementary school. If you choose to stay in your seat, you can. If you want to move up closer so that you can see the pictures a little bit better on the board, you can too. I'm going to turn off the front two lights. Is everybody good with that so the shine's brighter? Everyone cool? All right. Well, I was kidding. Down, turn off the front lights. If you want to move, now's a good chance to do that so we can get started. So in elementary school, elementary teachers always hold the book, like they have that really cool thing where they can hold the book like this and read it, you know, and you can see the pictures. I was clearly not an elementary school teacher. I can't do that cool thing, but they have this awesome camera, so I'm going to do it from here. Does this help so you can at least see it up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My teacher in 5th grade, she would have to read the book and
then
show
flip
us the picture.
I would have had to do that too, but I'm uncoordinated. I probably would have dropped it and turned it into a hot mess. Everybody good? All right, so today we're reading The Day the Crayons Quit, and it's written by a man named Drew DeWalt. And some of you may be familiar with this book, some of you maybe not. Down at the bottom it says Pictures by Oliver Jeffers. So let's think about this. Pictures by means that he's not,
The author who's the illustrator.
he's the illustrator. Thank you. So here we go. So The Day the Crayons Quit. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Dear Duncan, or hey Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. All right, so let's talk about tone. What was the tone of Red Crayon? How did Red Crayon feel? Yeah, he's definitely mad. What are some words from this page that we can pick out that show that he's mad? Or sad? Or unhappy? What's up? Pick one.
Overworked.
Overworked.
Holidays is underlined.
Yeah, I even work on holidays and it's underlined. What other words stand out on that page?
Apples.
Apples, because they're
Red.
red. What else? What else?
I need a rest.
I need a rest. So he's telling him exactly what he wants from him, right? What else, Leslie?
Everything.
Everything. He feels that he colors everything. So much so that let's look at the picture that the illustrator provided. There's very little any other color on that page, correct?
Yeah.
So red definitely is using words that create a tone of him being upset or angry. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizard hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. All right, let's look at these crazy purple drawings. All right, first of all, he's a pretty good artist.
Yeah.
Secondly, let's talk about tone for purple. How's Purple feeling?
Feeling mad and weak.
Yeah, he's mad. He's feeling mad and neat. What else do we got?
You can tell he's mad because he says he's going to completely lose it next time he puts out colors outside the line.
Perfect. He gave specific word choice. I'm going to completely lose it. What else?
He's triggered.
He's triggered. Yeah, he's right on the edge of going over. Let's look at the picture of the crayon. Because the other thing we need to talk about is personification. First of all, we definitely know that these crayons have some human abilities. Because what are they doing?
They're talking.
They're talking and they're writing their own letters.
And they have arms and legs.
Now, that's something really neat that you mentioned that. Because,
They have face.
let's talk about this.
How about house?
I'll wait for you guys. Thank you. So let's talk about this. Personification means you take something that's not human and give it the ability to be human. Or do something that human does, right? However, the author's done something even neater. He's done what we call anthropomorphize. So what that means is he's actually taken the crayon and made it almost human by giving it what? You said it has what on it?
Legs.
A face, and arms, and legs. Do crayons actually have that?
No, they don't.
No. So the illustrations have helped to do this to make the crayon actually become human. But we're talking about his ability to be personified. So he's personified for two ways. One, he can write, and most things shouldn't be able to write because they don't have brains, right? And then the other thing is that they have emotions. Do crayons have emotions?
No,
Usually.
they don't.
Like this box does not have emotions, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have brains.
sad.
So, right now we've talked about tone, we've looked at some personification, so let's see what some of Duncan's other crayons feel. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan, because I'm neither. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. Yeah. Beige isn't very happy. He's definitely not that emotion. So what emotion can we get from the words used and from the picture provided?
He's sad.
He's definitely sad. What else? Anybody else back here?
That's pretty much it.
What do you think? How do you think Beige feels? Depressed, maybe? What doesn't Beige like to be?
He doesn't like Mr. Brown.
Yeah, he doesn't like that Mr. Brown gets all the work.
You don't like being called like brown?
Yeah, definitely doesn't like being called light brown or tan. Alright? Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know that elephants are gray, but that's a lot of space to color in all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are gray, you know, and so are tiny rocks, pebbles. How about every once in a while, you give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. Alright? Let's talk about tone. What words show how Gray Crayon is feeling? So how is Gray Crayon feeling first? How's Gray Crayon feeling? You don't know how Gray Crayon's feeling? Read the signature line for me at the bottom. Tired. And he says it. He goes out and just says it. So Gray Crayon's feeling tired. What is it? What shows us that he's feeling tired? What do you think?
It's maybe underlined killing him.
Yeah, underlined, you're killing me. What else did he do? Amir?
He said, how about one of those, once in a while, can you give me a break?
Yeah, once in a while, can you give me a break? Anything else? What you got?
It says rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales.
Yeah.
They're talking about big brain.
Yeah, big gray animals. So, Amir says big gray animals.
Oh god.
So clearly, Gray Crayon's being overworked. So much so that look at Gray Crayon trying to look at them. He knows he's about to be scribbled with. Dear Duncan, you color with me, but why? Most of the time I'm the same color as the page you're using me on, white. If I don't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know that I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to color snow or to fill in empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. So, first of all, what did the illustrator do with White Crayon?
Made it pretty much beautiful.
Yeah, he made him so you can barely see him. The only thing you really see is the mouth and the eyes he gave him, right? And then like the bottom part of the crayon wrapper. And then let's talk about the words that the author used to describe tone for White Crayon. Useless. Yep, useless. What else? I'll go back so you can see it a little bit better. That should help. What do you got?
Empty.
Empty. Anything else?
Depressed.
Yeah, so useless and empty makes him feel
Depressed.
depressed. There you go. So let's look at our next one. Hi Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things. things are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometimes? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. How's Black Crayon feeling? What you got? Yeah, he's definitely irritated. Amir? Upset? Alright, why is he upset? Let's go to the word choice now. What words show that why he's upset? What?
That he hates it. The word I hate.
Yeah, I hate doing that. What else? What's the only thing that Black feels he's good for?
Outlines.
Outlines. There you go. Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I am writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my workloads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problem, and wish to congratulate you on your successful coloring things green career so far. The second reason I write is for my friends, Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon, because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon. Let's talk about green. So Green's feelings are what?
He feels fine about the way that he for backward and stuff like that, but he wants something to work out between orange and yellow.
Perfect. So he feels good about his job, but he really needs Duncan to fix orange and yellow because they're all fighting with each other right now. They're having a lover's quarrel.
He said you're happy friend.
Yeah, you're happy friend. So clearly that shows he's happy. However, he's only bothered by one thing, and that's the fight. And what word in that second part at the bottom shows how he's feeling about that whole fight? Crazy. It's in big capital letters, should stand out for you. And he does have a pretty excellent coloring things green career. Like his dinosaurs and crocodiles and stuff are pretty rad.
I have a really good idea to fix the yellow and orange problem. You can put them both together.
Let's see what Duncan does. Dear Duncan, Yellow Crayon here. I need you to tell Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking. And I can prove I'm the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to color in the sun on your Happy Farm coloring book. In case you forgot, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. You're pale, and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. All right, how's Yellow Crayon feeling? What do you think? How's Yellow Crayon feeling? You need help? All right, you want help?
He's feeling strong about his statement.
Yeah, he's feeling really confident or positive about his statement. And he's positive about what? That he is the color of the sun. However, you can also tell he's angry with
Orange.
Orange because it uses the line, what does he say they're no longer doing? No longer talking. So we know that that's a bother. Everybody ready? Hold on 1 second. I'll get to you.
Oh, no, there was.
Oh, I didn't show you the picture. I'm sorry. Thank you. All right, so look at the 2 crayons at the bottom. Clearly yellow showing his positivity, and orange maybe a little bothered. He's showing you the hand, you don't want to talk to him. Yeah?
He has too much pride in himself.
He has a lot of pride in himself, that's right. You guys ready? All right. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you, the big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I'm clearly the color of the sun because on Thursday, you used me to color the sun on both the Monkey Island and Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Orange, you glad I'm here? Ha! You're pale and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. So, how's Orange feeling?
He's triggered.
Well, yeah, but what is he feeling about his beliefs?
That he's the color.
That is true.
That he's the true color of the sun. So what word do we say about yellow? Yellow is very what? Confident. So I would say that orange is also what?
Orange is
Pretty
naturally
confident. Orange also shows that it has a kind of a sense of humor, right? Because what did orange do? He told a corny joke. He told a teacher joke, guys. Those are what we call those. So there's his orange sons. Again, now look at orange is quite happy, and yellow seems to be a little upset about this. Alright, here we are with blue. Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color the past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I've really enjoyed all the oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I'm so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railing of the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Alright, so how's Blue Crayon feeling? Stubby. How else?
He's proud to be his favorite color, but he just thinks that
Yeah, he's very proud that he got to be his favorite color, but he's a little upset that he's kind of been whittled down to nothing.
He's a small bee.
He is. So let's look at Blue Crayon. So poor Blue Crayon. He's wore out from all his work, guys. Blue Crayon kind of represents my life. I work really hard, I'm not a lot. I'm just kind of short and stubby.
That's the face of pure depression.
You guys ready? Here we go. Duncan. Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your sister I said thank you for using me to color in her little princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? Goodness knows they could all use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. How's Pink feeling?
He's unhappy about the way that he or she is treating, I don't know the gender. And also, I just want to say
Guys,
that,
guys, I can't hear his answers. Thank you.
oh, well, now I forgot what I was saying.
All right, let's get some help from the crowd. What else do you have?
He's like feeling a little down because Duncan won't use him.
Yeah, he's feeling down because he won't use them. What you got, Wesley?
Left out.
Left out, exactly. All right, so there's our Pink cowboy. So clearly you can look by the attitude of Pink kind of standing there like a little cross-armed, a little upset, that Pink clearly would like to be used a little more often for something, you know, cowboy, monster, dinosaur. Sister did a wonderful job. Yes.
Why can't he use pink for the Pink Panther?
You could get there.
Pink Panther.
All right, here's my favorite one. Hey Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help, your naked friend Peach Crayon. All right, so how's Pink feel?
Naked!
Well, no, that is what Pink is. But how does he feel?
You said Pink exposed.
Hold on, wait, I couldn't hear. Say again. Embarrassed? Absolutely.
Exposed.
Definitely exposed. So here's Peach. Duncan told us about it.
Super or fun.
So here's all the letters that Duncan had found. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color, and of course he wanted his crayons to be happy, and that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him an A for coloring.
Did he use all
He used all the colors, but not as much blue, so blue's being saved a little bit. Yellow became the sky. Orange became a humpback whale. Look, there's a pink dino.
Orange is the sun. Where's pink? Orange is the
There's a pink lay on.
Where's pink?
Peach is on the skin of the. I know it's hard to see, but peach is on the skin. Yep. And an A+ for creativity. So now he's made one giant crayon. All right. So here's what our next step is. I'm gonna have you guys help me because I think that poor Duncan only found some of the letters from his crayons, and I feel like there was a whole lot of crayons left, mostly because I have Duncan's crayons, and there was a whole lot left in here. that he forgot to get his letters from. So he somehow lost them. So I'm gonna need your guys' help in a few minutes. But to get there, you're gonna walk me through together what I'm gonna have you do by yourself. So what I need everybody to do real quick is hop up or stand up slowly if you're old like me and get back to your seat so we can move on to the next step. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're golden. Alright, so someone raise your hand to volunteer me what crayon we're going to talk about that Duncan already got a letter from. Color. We're going to go with pink. Alright, so let's talk about pink crayon. So first of all, you're going to get one of these, and you're also going to get a crayon. But we're going to walk through one together so you guys kind of understand what you're doing, okay? So we're going to talk about pink from the story. And we're not going to draw pink because we already know what pink looks like. But when you guys get your own, you're going to have to draw it because I'm not sure what all of Duncan's crayons look like in here. So let's talk about pink. How does pink look? In the picture, we'll put it right back up there. How does pink look? Full crayon or small crayon? Full. Alright, so we can say full size. Did Pink have her clothes on or his clothes on?
Yes.
Okay, so Pink has a wrapper. Describe the mood or emotion you would give to Pink based on his facial or her facial expression. Annoyed or bothered. Good, I like that word. Alright, let's move to the next thing. How often is pink getting used?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Who uses pink though?
It's a number.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
What does Pink want? They told us in the story. What did Pink want from Duncan?
He colored more.
Okay, colored more. Specifically, someone raise your hand and let me know what could be pink what did Pink want to be pink? Does that make sense? Alright, what do you have?
Cowboy
Okay, there's one.
and monster.
Cowboy. Monster. I think there was another one. Someone raise your hand and tell me. Amir, what do you got? Dino. Perfect. Okay. Right now, what does pink color?
Princesses.
Princess. We can put princesses. And what is Pink's complaint?
I'm not being used.
Good. Now, we did that one by using all of the author's words, right? We didn't use any of our own words. For the most part, we took, except for the emotion. But for the most part, we took everything straight from the author, who again was Drew DeWalt. So now, I'm going to show you a crayon, and we are going to do this crayon together before I send you off on your own to get started. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
Alright, so, well, everybody have a nice good look at this crayon.
Ooh. Is that cyan? That's type of blue?
Whoop. It says Blue Cadet, for those of you that might not be able to read it from where you're sitting. Okay, so Cadet Blue. It says Blue Cadet at the bottom, that's where I read it from. And it's a Crayola crayon. Okay, so we know those couple things about it. Yes. You're not writing this one down. We're going to do this one on mine, and then you all will get your own crayon and be doing your own. Okay? So I've started our Cadet Blue one for us. And what I did was simply, I drew Cadet Blue, pretty close to what Cadet Blue looks like, and then I put the name in here. So let's think about the name first, and what will that tell us about this crayon? Who or what is a cadet?
Oh, so a soldier?
A soldier, like a soldier. A lot of times cadets are in this specific field other than being a soldier.
Space cadet.
You can be a space cadet. A Boy Scout has a level of it. Anybody heard of the Cadet Academy for police officers?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of those could be with that. This kind of, what's that?
Police cadet.
A police cadet, exactly. So, let's talk about if I was this crayon, based on how it looks. Let's look at the tip of it specifically. You guys see it?
Yeah, barely been used.
How often do I use?
Barely.
Barely used. How do I look? Tall.
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 Skinny.
Skinny. I like it. Skinny.
That boy has his clothes.
Clothes.
That was
Alright. Let's talk about what Cadet Blue might want.
Ocean.
To be used. Now, let's talk about what Cadet Blue could color. If I was Cadet Blue, if I was going to write to Duncan, and I said, you should use me more because you could use me for a sky,
Ocean.
ocean.
Or a soldier.
I'm going to put C right here. just
Blue
because-
jay.
What?
Soldier.
A soldier.
ROTC. Blue jay.
Can I put police too next to that?
Yeah. Blue jay.
Blue jay. And I'm going to put bird next to that to give it more options, okay? And what would my complaint be?
Pretty much.
Do you wanna see it? The color that I colored the crayon, and I know it's hard under the lumens a little bit, but the color that I colored right here is actually this what it looks like when it's colored. So the good news is when you get your crayon, you'll have to draw it so you'll be able to see what the color of it is when you use it to help you create your information, okay? So what would my complaint be? Someone give me a good complaint. Yeah.
Okay, so my complaint, I'm just gonna put that on the screen.
Okay.
My complaint is you barely ever use me. Why can't you use me for once, huh? You using all the other colors, huh? You ain't using me, you using blue? Blue is not my friend, I tell you. You put me in last place. You mistreat me like a prisoner.
So I put barely use me. Can't you use me instead of blue? Everybody sound good with that? So from there, my next step, what's the got? You got a good complaint?
You leave me in the box.
You just leave me in the box. I'm afraid of the dark, man.
I need a nightlight.
Once you get all this done, you guys are gonna raise your hand, okay? Because then Miss Carter or myself are gonna come around and check it and make sure you got a lot of good information on there. And then you're actually gonna complete a new page for Drew DeWalt's book. We're gonna do the day the rest of the crayons quit. Because this was only like, what, 10 of his crayons, 11 of his crayons? The rest of his crayons are gonna quit too because apparently Duncan has stepped up to colored pencils. So the crayons need some life back in, so they're just gonna quit. So here's what I need you to do. Right now I need you to flip all 3 of your pages over.
Found it.
So you can see them now if you haven't been able to look at them.
Yes.
So your top page is this one. I'm going to come around in a moment. You're going to pick a crayon off the box blindly. That's the whole point of it. That way you can't cheat. Then after you do this, you're going to do your writing. But to help you with your writing, I gave you how I'm going to grade it. It tells you exactly what I need you to do. So if you want to get a top score, which is a 4 under 4, it needs to have this stuff. Or if you want to get a bad score, it's okay, Wesley. He's going to go for the ones. If you want to do the ones, they're over here. Well, our goal is the 4, but Wesley can't. It's okay. Alright? So, as I'm doing this, do me a favor. On the top of the graphic organizer, write your name and write Carter 2, because you're her second block. And then on the bottom of your page for the new book, I also need to put, you need to put your name and Carter 2 down there so I know that that is the page of you took. Reach out, Wesley. Higher. Come on, stubby arms.
That's really offensive to some people.
That's
offensive.
Like you. That's your crayon. That's the wrong side of the box.
Lucas, like you.
Oh wait, I'm short of the crayon. What am I doing?
Lucas.
Alright, so some of you are already finding out I have genetically altered some of these crayons to give you some interesting things to write about. For example, can you please show everyone your crayon?
No.
She has Siamese twin crayon.
Mine has
So she's going to have some interesting things to write about.
What?
You also have a genetically altered crayon. What do you have? So you have pencil grip crayon?
Mine's broken.
I have
Hey, I'm not set on yours.
He has a casted crayon. Alright, how
There any modifiers?
There are still.
I don't like Oh my god!
Guys, I know it's exciting because you don't get to play with crayons a whole lot in middle school. I get it, I understand. But once you grab your crayon, make sure that you're really starting to pay attention to it so you can come up with some great ideas to write from.
Is that gray or is that the
You'll be able to color with it in just a second to find out.
Austin, all the way down.
Alright. Is there anyone who I left out? I'm so sorry, I'm the worst. I'm sorry, honey.
Look at mine.
Alright, everybody freeze. Everyone has a crayon, yes? Okay, so I want you to do the same exact things that we walked through together as a class 2 separate times. First thing you're going to do is look at the name of your crayon, buy the label, and put it in the middle, and then start completing your other pieces. Now, you must understand, I'm not a great artist, so I don't expect you to be Picasso yet. So draw your crayon the best you can, using the supplies you have in front of you, which is basically the pencil I gave you and your crayon.
Okay.
And then from there, start thinking about things that that crayon would do or be used for. Leave it there.
This is legit the crayon I've done everything.
That's funny. Alright, so everybody's working. What does it say? There you go. So,
When you use it.
make sure you fully examine your crayon for any possible differences from an average crayon. And then also make sure you're thinking about all the things we talked about a moment ago. What would Duncan use this crayon or not use this crayon for? What does the appearance of it show? Has he used it or has he not used it? Start thinking about some of that information. Okay, so let's talk about the heading. Once you start your writing, but you shouldn't be doing that part first, you gotta fill out the organizer first. Remember, what is the heading? What do we say a lot of people generally put here for your heading? The date. So you guys know what today is, everybody put that on the board.
Now put them down on the board, please.
Alright, I'll start up here on the board just in case you forget. So you can use that for your heading and date, and then obviously you use your greeting and use your closing to help you express how you feel. Remember, some of the crayons said, "Hey Duncan," some of the crayons just said, "Duncan." One of the crayons said, "Look here, kid." Remember that? So make sure you're using that specific word choice to help you. And make sure that you make that crayon truly personified or having the ability to do things that not all humans do.
It's hard to keep it in the wrapper now that you did that.
What color did you get?
Is that one of the things you have put on the
Purple Mountains Magic. Your parents went a little overboard with your name. What do you got? You ain't got it? Come on, me. You broke my name, Emily. I like that. That's good. What would you be mad about if you made this prank? Because there's no one.
Okay, it's cold in here, right?
That's awesome. So if you want to give more, right? Maybe we could put some more things. Like, because the more things you give them, the more reasons someone will be able to use you, right? Because I know these all boys are all like their corners, but they gotta do other things, right? So how you kind of like around, kind of around. What's around the room, think about outside other things you know that have something very similar to that. When you think you have your whole organizer complete and you're ready to write your paragraph or your friendly letter, raise your hand, let Coach Carter, sorry, so you see that. Let Miss Carter or myself look at it, and then we'll let you know whether or not you can get started. When you look at this paper, I've had 2 people ask me, they said, what's this side for? How did Drew DeWalt set up his book?
Drawing.
Yep, he had his whole letter on one side, picture on the other. So we're going to be doing that part of it too, okay?
That's funny. That's funny. That's a good one.
I just got my It's frozen solid?
I like it. And then it comes in
This. You ready for me? What you got? There it is. Hold on a second, let me check this. How are you guys doing? Thank you.
I like that. That's awesome.
Good job.
No. Yeah, you did.
Guys, I just need to do a heat check in the classroom, so here's my heat check. Raise your hand if you're done with your organizer and you've moved into your writing phase. Okay? I need a heat check on who's done writing and who has begun their drawing. Alright, do I have any finishers? Alright, finishers, I got something for you. Give me just 1 second. Everyone else go ahead and get back to work.
I'm walking away from that one. So, 5 accurate.
Y'all get to work.
Yes.
Hey, you'll see what I'm talking about when I'm done.
Make sure you get started.
Is that the goal?
You'll see.
I'm scared of yours.
So, yep, think of that, I like that. That would be, I like that. So, then
Alright, so most of you should be within the next 2 or 3 minutes finishing up your letter and working on your illustration. As you're doing that, I'm going to share with you what I created for Cadet Blue. Now remember, Cadet Blue was the one we did together and you guys gave me a lot of the information for. So listen for the information you gave me while I read to you what I creatively wrote in my letter. Dear General Duncan, I am a strong, well-trained crayon. I will faithfully serve your coloring books by giving blue a break and being used for the sky, ocean, and birds. I will proudly fill in the uniform of a policeman Paul in your community helper's coloring book. My only request before you use me is to please clean my uniform. I want to represent Crayola well, and I cannot with red and yellow stains all over me. Sir, I look forward to fulfilling my colored wax duty of staying in the lines. P.S. Please move me in the box barracks. Neon red is way too wild for my neat row. Your loyal pal, Cadet Blue. And then I drew a picture of him marching, and it says, Sir, yes, sir, I will color in the lines.
I like it.
Anybody willing to share? Or anybody want to share and afraid to share and would rather have me read? You want to share?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor? I'm really big on having you go to the front of the room to read so that everybody can hear you. And if you want,
do that.
yep, and if you want, you can put your picture underneath so everyone can see it after you're done reading.
Okay.
Okay. So, since there's another person reading and he's in the front of the room, he's now the teacher, so he gets the same exact attention you give me.
Hi. Hey, Duncan. Just why? Oh wait. I gotta tell. Can I tell the crayon I'm doing first?
Yeah, you can tell us your color.
My crayon is indigo crayon. Hey, Duncan. Just why? I cry myself to sleep just because I'm barely used. You could just replace purple and use me. I want to assassinate Purple and make you use me. You only use me for a great wizard myself. Boring! I feel lonely and I can't come out of the box. I sit and cry. I just sit and cry all day and I'm super depressed. I am super upset with you, Duncan. I wish you wouldn't use me till I'm short and stubby like Blue. I'm going to go crying away now, bro. I'm done with you. Your crap-treated friend, Indigo Crayon. And this is my little drawing.
Very nice. Anybody else? All right, Nathaniel.
He has triple. This is my color, orange, yellow. It has two things. That's nice.
Hey Duncan, yes, I understand that I'm a deformed crayon and nobody loves me. And I have two tips, but that does not make me any less capable than orange and the yellow crayon. You are using them way more than you're using me. While yellow is drawing the sun shining on a sunny day, and orange is drawing people's clothes and shoes, and so much more. I'm only using sunsets and flowers, which you barely draw. Now the other crayons are bullying me. Please do something about this mad. Your mad friend, orange, yellow crayon. And then there's my picture.
Yes, Nathaniel was one of the folks that finished early, so he got to do the second part of it, which was to reply back to the crayon from Duncan.
I feel like the Duncan in the story was nicer. Dear orange, yellow crayon. Listen, orange, yellow crayon. I don't care that you're not being used enough. It's going to stay that way. So, suck it up and roll with it. Got it? Do I make myself clear? From your user, Duncan. P.S. By the way, if the other crayons are picking on you, stand up for yourself. Don't be a wimp.
Duncan does not give a crap.
You gonna share? All right, come on up. You said 120.
It's like, what did I just say?
You do. Guys, we still have about 2 or 3 more people to share.
Okay, look. You need to give me some clothes. Or a belt. I am always used by your friends, and you always throw me in the box. I'm tired of it. Your old friend, Red Orange.
Now, explain to them what happened with your crayon as to why you said, I need a belt.
His clothes fall off a lot.
The wrapper, let me see it?
It flows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One side of them had been used, so his wrapper does not stay on very well. So poor orange red or red orange, he needs a belt.
I wrote more than her away. Yeah, but I didn't want to say that out loud.
Okay, so everybody stop and listen for one moment. You have about 4 minutes left in class. Here's what I need you to do. First thing I need you to do is before you raise your hand to turn in your writing for me, I need you to look at your rubrics. Remember, this is how I'm going to grade you, okay? I need you to start counting what you did against what the rubric asked you to do. Make sure you have all of that information in there, and if you don't, right now is the time, the next 3 minutes, to make any corrections you need to, so that all of you can score, hopefully, at the very high end of this, okay? So look at your rubric, make sure you filled in all the requirements, met all the requirements that you have to have, and then when you're done, I need you to stack all 3 of the papers back on your desk in the corner before you walk out in this order. It's going to be your finished paper on top, your organizer underneath it like this, and your rubric on the very bottom. So when you walk out, your stack will look like this on your desk. Finished paper on top, then the outline, then the rubric, and you're just going to set it in the corner of your desk so I can collect them, okay? But make sure you check your rubric right now to make sure that your writing meets that rubric's requirements. Then, if you would please, without breaking the crayons, try to come back up, and I'm going to put the crayon box over here, and put your crayon back into Duncan's crayon, because he's going to need them back. If you quickly do that, Mr. DeWalt did write the second book, and I'd like to share it with you before you leave. So if you can quickly get your crayons picked up, while you're finishing writing and making corrections and the last minute touches, I'll share the second book with you so you can see how he continued his writing from the crayons.
Let's go, guys.
This is very fun.
I changed it to
If you are done and you want to sit on the floor in the front, I'm okay with that. Just if you're in the front sitting, remember you're listening.
You know you're not supposed to be loud during transitions.
Remember, quick hurry, even if your folks in the back, so you can finish up your writing and transition to be seated. Now, as you're doing this, I need you to not be talking, so I'm going to start reading, that way everyone can hear. So his second book, were the day the crayons came home. Because remember, they quit, so when you quit, you leave, right? So now his crayons are returning. One day, Duncan and his crayons were happily coloring together when a strange stack of postcards arrived for him in the mail. Who do we assume they're going to be from?
Crayons.
The crayons.
My little crayons. My old friend.
Dear Duncan, not sure if you remember me. My name is Maroon Crayon. You only colored with me once to draw a scab, but whatever. Anyway, you lost me 2 years ago in the couch. Then your dad sat on me and broke me in half. I never would have survived had Paperclip not nursed me back to health. I'm finally better, so come and get me. And can Paperclip come too? He's really holding me together. Sincerely, your Maroon Crayon. Maroon Crayon.
Wait, I found this on the board.
Can you put it in the box, please?
Where's the box?
It's over there. Thank you. Dear Duncan, no one likes peas. No one even likes the color pea green. So I'm changing my name and running away to see the world. Sincerely, Esteban the Magnificent, the crayon formerly known as Pea Green. Hi Duncan, it's me, Neon Red Crayon. Remember that great vacation we had with your family? Remember how we laughed and when we drew a picture of your dad's sunburn? Remember dropping me by the hotel pool when you left? Clearly you do not, because I'm still here. How could you miss me? Anyway, after 8 months waiting for you to come get me, I guess I'm walking back. Your left behind friend, Neon Red Crayon.
Oh, that's weird. That is so depressing.
Duncan, it's us, yellow and orange. We know we used to argue over which of us was the color of the sun, but guess what? Neither of us wants to be the color of the sun anymore. Not since we were left outside and the sun melted us together. Do you know the real color of the sun? Hi, that's what. We're sorry for arguing. You can make green the sun for all we care. Just bring us home. Your not so sunny friends, yellow and orange. Hey Duncan, I'm sure you don't recognize me after the horrors I've been through. I think I was a tan crayon, or maybe burnt sienna. I don't know, I can't tell anymore. Have you ever been eaten by a dog and puked up on the living room rug? Because I have. I have been eaten by a dog and puked on the rug. And Duncan, it's not pretty. Not pretty at all. I'm more carpet fuzz than crayon now. Can you please bring me back? Your undigestible friend, Tan. Or possibly burnt sienna crayon. Alright guys, so listen. We have to stop because it's time for you to transition, so here's what I need. I need you to carefully stack all your stuff in the corner of your desk, and if Miss Carter will let me, I'll come back in and I'll finish this book with you right at the beginning of class tomorrow, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So go ahead and set your things up, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye guys. That stuff stays on the desk. You keep the pencil.
Wait, we have a this one. Yeah, are you gonna take it?